The Danish Deception Part 20. So after today, all the parts will be fully completed, and I need y'all to just bear with me. This was a very traumatic and emotional experience for everyone that was involved, and so you're gonna see tears, and I'm gonna try to keep my composure as much as possible. So I'm on this bachelorette trip in the Bahamas, and the second day I'm there, I know that's the date of the hearing with the Danish IRS about the business account. And I'm very, very nervous. Like, obviously I had money in my bank account, but this business account was supposed to be what was gonna go towards crypto and paying for the wedding. And so I just wanted everything to happen the way it was supposed to happen. So I wake up that morning, he tells me, call me when you can. I pick up the phone, I call him, I step outside, and he actually has good news. And the good news is that the business account doesn't have 200,000, it actually has 300,000. And he hadn't been able to log into it for 18 months. And so he was very surprised that the account actually had more money than he thought. So I was so over the moon excited. I told him, I said, thank you so much for, making smart choices and, helping us build this foundation for us to start our lives together in Dallas. And he had told me he was on the phone with the bank for like 45 minutes, ironing out the plans. They closed down the business account and they were gonna just transfer him the amount of money that was owed to him. And so obviously I don't take his word for shit at this point. So I asked him, I'm like, can you send me a screenshot of the phone call? Like, I wanna see the phone record. And so he sends me a screenshot and it shows that he was on the phone for 45 minutes. I type in the number in the screenshot that he sent me, and I put it into ChatGPT, and it said it was linked to his bank in Denmark. So I was like, okay, this is real. Why would you spend 45 minutes on the phone with the bank if this wasn't real? So at this point, I'm like, okay, finally there's truth to something he's saying. And I felt so much relief. So after the Bahamas, my ex sends a text to my parents, and I'm in the group chat too. And he's saying, hey, I'll be able to send you the money by the end of this month. Can you please send me your banking information? And my mom says, of course, here it is, gives her bank information. Now we're at the end of July, and I asked him, hey, has the money hit? Has the money hit? Still hadn't hit. So what he said was, what I'll do is I'll send your parents the money on August 1st after I get paid from my job. But regardless, like, that money is gonna hit at some point in August. And I said, okay, that's perfect. So beginning of August comes around and he tells me, hey, I just sent the money to your mom. And I said, okay, perfect. Can you please show me the screenshot? And he said, yes. And he showed me the screenshot, and it said that the payment was scheduled for August 9th. So August 7th and 8th comes around. I tell my mom, hey, you're gonna receive the money by August 9th. And she said, okay, sounds good. So August 9th comes around and I asked her, hey, have you received it? And she said, no, I still have not received it. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. A couple of days go by and I'm like, have you received it yet? She said, I still have not received it. So now it's like August 12th and I'm on FaceTime with my mom just chit-chatting. And then I ask her, I go, hey, have you received the transfer from my ex? And she goes, no, I still haven't received it. And I'm on the couch with my ex and I look at him, I go, that's so weird. My mom still hasn't received the transfer. And he goes, that is weird. I go, can you pull up the screenshot again? He shows me the screenshot again. And it says that the payment is now scheduled for August 14th. And I'm a little confused because why is it scheduled for August 14th now? It was August 9th before, and that doesn't make sense. So I asked him, I'm like, that's weird. He goes, that is weird. I don't know what's going on. And so regardless, at this point, it was like August 12th. So I was like, okay, we'll just wait and make sure she gets it by August 14th. So August 14th comes around. I call my mom, hey, did you receive the transfer? She still hasn't received the transfer. And I'm just like, what is going on? This is so weird and bizarre. But I'm not super concerned at this point. I just think that there's something weird going on. So August 15th comes around and he tells me that he doesn't know what's going on, but what he's gonna do is cancel the transaction and then send the 10K to me. And then I will then send the 10K to my mom. And I said, okay, perfect, that sounds good. So that Saturday, I went wedding dress shopping, and my very best friend Rebecca was in town visiting, and she was with her 3.5-year-old daughter, who's the sweetest. I've known her since she was a little newborn baby. She's so sweet. And this is the first time that my best friend Rebecca is coming to visit me in Dallas with her daughter. And so I was just so excited for them to be here and go wedding dress shopping with them. So we go wedding dress shopping on a Saturday, and my ex had told me that his mom wanted to pay for the wedding dress, and I was like, "Are you sure?" He said, "Absolutely." Her birthday was actually the day before I went to go wedding dress shopping, and so he's like, "I don't want to call her like on her birthday to ask her for money for your wedding dress, even though she's the one that brought this up and said she wants to pay for it." And I said, "It's okay, I'll just pay for the dress, and then whenever your mom sends you the money, you can just send it to me." And then obviously I want to call her and tell her thank you, because I was surprised. I did not expect her to even offer to pay for it. So I was flattered. I thought it was so sweet. So I go pick out the wedding dress, and I'm just so happy. I find the dress that I love. I put in the deposit for the dress. So Sunday comes around, and my ex says that the $10,000 for my mom is going to hit his account on that Monday. And I said, okay, sounds good. I am starting to feel some red flags, but I'm just like, let's wait till Monday and let's see how this plays out. So we go to church that morning on Sunday morning, and we get back, and this is so interesting that I always have to mention this. After church, my ex comes to me and he tells me, I really want to learn more about the Word of God. And I'm a Christian, and I've always been a Christian. And he always told me, listen, like, despite my beliefs, I always will support you and your faith. And our kids will be brought up as Christians. We'll go to church. I'll always go to church with you. But this was the first time that he told me that he wanted to learn more about the Word of God. And I remember just being so excited. I was like, that's perfect. We're going to start doing Bible study like once a week together. And I was really, really excited for it. That day goes by, and the next morning it's Monday. Keep in mind, my best friend and her daughter are still visiting me. So the next morning, my best friend, Rebecca, she is at home because she has some work calls. And so we take her daughter to the park with Smokey, and we're just walking around, and I ask him, like, has the $10,000 for my mom hit your account? And he said, no, it hasn't. And I told him, I go, listen, I'm feeling very triggered. I feel like you're lying to me. It should have hit your personal account by this point, and it hasn't. And I'm feeling extremely, extremely triggered. And he said, well, I don't know what's going on. I promise, like, the money's there. It's going to be fine. And I was like, well, I don't know. I just feel like you're lying to me. So if there's anything that you want to come clean about, now's the time. Just do it. And he said, what's the point of talking to you if you're just going to think I'm lying? I go, well, why do you think I always think you're lying? Because you lie all the time. And he says, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't walk together. I go, okay, maybe we shouldn't. So he walks back to the car, and I walk my friend's daughter with my dog, and I just like walk away, and we walk for a while, and then we go back to the car, and he's in the car talking to his mom. And as soon as I get in the car, he gets off the phone with his mom. And I was fully planning on telling her thank you for the wedding dress. And I thought it was weird that he hung up really quickly. And so that's another red flag. So we get home, and obviously we're fighting. I feel like he's lying to me. He's upset that I'm not believing him. And he ends up leaving the house because he's like, I'm going to go to Costco. So while he's in Costco, obviously I'm just spiraling. And this is the moment where it hits me. I'm like, what if everything's a lie? And I don't know why, like, my subconscious has been thinking this all along, but this is the first time I fully am asking myself this question. And so I'm laying in my bed, and I start playing with the app Revolut, and I start looking at it. And that's the app that he sent the money to my mom. And obviously he sent me screenshots. I sent the screenshot to my mom to verify it's going to be hitting on August 14th. And so I start playing around with the app, and I just, I wanted to see what it would be like if I wanted to send a big payment. And the way Revolut works is you have to load the money into Revolut before you can send it to anyone. So I'm just playing around with it, and I do a test transaction, and I'm trying to send $10,000 even though I don't have 10K in Revolut to send. So I click schedule payment, and I put just whatever date, and I see the next page, which is the review page. And that's when I realized that that was the same screen that he showed me and that I sent to my mom, saying that he sent the payment. And what he did was he cropped out the schedule payment button so it looked like he had sent the money, but he really did not. So at this point, my entire body is shaking, and he gets back from Costco, and I can't say anything because my best friend and her daughter are staying with us. So I'm trying to keep it chill, and keep in mind, this friend does not know anything that's going on. So after we unload the groceries, he's like, I'm gonna go upstairs and change and get ready for the gym. So I follow him upstairs, and I ask him, I said, I'm gonna ask you one question. Did you send that money to my mom? And he said, of course I did. I go, I'm gonna ask you again. did you send that money to my mom? And he said, yes. And I pull up the screenshot that he sent me, and then I go back to Revolut and I show him the exact same screenshot where he cropped the schedule payment button on the review page. And he said, our screens are different because I'm using a version from Denmark and you're using a version from the US. I go, you're using your US phone. So at this point, his lies are just getting bad. I'm like, you're lying about everything. I go, let's have a chat and let's let all of this come to light and be done with it. And he said, I don't have time for this. And I don't want to listen to this. And then he storms out of the house. And I will continue on in part 21.